What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Double M Show. At the crib, quarantine, being safe, living in the COVID 19. Mr. Mike Nice.
Yeah.
Build. What's going on, man?
Man, we here. We here holding it down on another Tuesday night. Per usual. Just like we do here. Nothing new, but Double M.
Yes, sir. We are here. Welcome everyone who is coming in on Double M on this lovely Tuesday night. A lot's happening on this Tuesday night. A lot has happened since the last time we've been here on Double M that we have to get through. Today is National Coffee Day.
Wow.
Here's a fun fact. I, Mike, have never in my life had coffee.
You never tried coffee once.
Never had iced coffee, hot coffee,
Coffee colada?
mulata, decaf.
Wow.
I've never had it, man.
Wow. Hey, I've had coffee before. Is it good? No. I'll keep it as simple as that. I've had coffee before. Is it good? Absolutely not. I don't think it tastes good. I don't know how people drink it. I've tried it before because the thing about coffee is, it gives you an energy boost. I need it in the morning to get my day started. I tried that and it didn't do anything for me. So why waste my time drinking it if it's not going to do anything for me except give me caffeine, add caffeine to my life, which I don't need. So, nah, not for me.
Yeah, I've never had it. So that's a fun fact.
You ain't missing out, bro.
I've heard. I mean, I smelt it before. I've had coffee ice cream.
Coffee ice cream. That sounds nasty.
I've had coffee ice cream. I've had coffee cake.
Coffee cake's not bad, actually.
Coffee cake's not bad.
Not bad. Coffee cake's not bad.
But coffee?
Nah.
I like the artist coffee.
She's good.
Good. She's young. I didn't know she was that young.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know if she's in her 20s.
Yeah, I think she's like 19 or something.
She's
very young, very talented.
Yeah, she's young, but hey, she's doing her thing right now. Shout out to her for sure.
She's definitely like the rising artist out there right now who's going to be a force to be reckoned with, for sure. If you don't know who we talk about, go look up Kofi. KOF.
Toss.
EE.
Toss.
But yeah, man, a lot to get through, bro. Obviously, one message that we're always gonna keep telling you guys is, it's the election year. It's about to be a wild end of 2020.
Absolutely.
Some people want it to end. Some people, calling this a nightmare, but we are doing our best to get through it, all in all. And just go out and vote, guys. That's all we can tell you. I can't tell you who to vote for, but just go out and vote and, try to be that change. And for the people who are watching on YouTube, last week YouTube was giving us problems with sound. So just let us know if you can hear us on YouTube. Let us know if our sound is coming through.
Yeah, look good so far. Hopefully it sound good, look good. But
put the volume on just to see.
Yeah, right, man. So
we sounding all right. So Mike Nice, man, I know you've been someone who's been really waiting for this show to happen, waiting to, get a lot off your chest.
Absolutely.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna let you take this away, brother. What is on the playlist for the day?
Well, as you can see, I'm repping the colors, I'm repping the team. I am a fan of the Boston Celtics, but as we all know, their season recently came to an end in a Game 6 loss in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Miami Heat, wrapping up the 2019-2020 season.
Damn, this season started in 2019.
2019, yeah, and we're here about to finish out 2020, and the season is still going. The finals are about to start in a day. But yeah. Marvin and I are going to put a bow tie on the season, give our thoughts, our feelings. Definitely want to hear from you guys tuned in as well. But I tell you this, don't let this shirt fool you and my fandom fool you. We are going to dissect this team and what we saw from them this past season, what needs to happen moving forward, and everything above, below, and in between. We're going to get into that show here on this show. And again, we want to hear from you guys and how you feel the season went, how you felt the playoffs went, everything that has to do Celtics. We're gonna put a bow tie on the season here on the show today. Also, Tory Lanez back from wherever he was hiding at. He resurfaced after the news dropped that he's shot Meg the Stallion. She came out with her information and said what she had to say. Tory Lanez responded, and
he responded.
He responded all right. People were looking forward to hearing what he had to say. What was his side of the story? And his response was dropping an album. Oh, we're gonna get into that as well. How do people feel? Are people still Team Tory after this? People, feeling the album, or we're gonna talk about it all for sure. Also, Marv alluded to it a little bit. The presidential debate is tonight. Something that we definitely want to stress and emphasize for sure. Go vote. It's huge. The debate, like we said, is going down here on a Tuesday night. So, a lot of different topics. As always, please, on Facebook, on YouTube, on IG, drop your comments, drop your thoughts, drop your feelings, drop topics. Anything that you want to talk about for sure, we all for it here on Double M. But yeah, man, do we have to waste any more time?
Let's not waste any more time. Let's first congratulate the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers for making it to the finals. Lakers were clearly the best team in the West and deservingly were supposed to be in NBA Finals. Miami Heat were clearly the best team in the East and deserves to be in the NBA Finals. Not many times you're going to see a fifth seed make it into the NBA Finals, but the bubble was good for Miami. The bubble was real good for Miami, and they had the team to do it. Knocking out Milwaukee looked like to be their only real test into going into the finals. Once they did that, it seemed like the stars were written for Miami. Jimmy Butler, the way he led his team to the finals, and you can see that they really like each other out there in Miami, and like it's a real team chemistry. Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra got something real special going on. And look, I'm talking future tense. It could be now. They might have something happening now going into the finals, but we're not here to talk about Lakers. We're not here to talk about the Miami Heat. Congratulations to both those teams. I will be watching because I am also an NBA fan at the end of the day, and I want to see if LeBron can get 4. I want to see if Miami can upset the Lakers and start their own little history. But in order for Miami Heat to advance to the finals, they had to have beaten the Boston Celtics, who were in their way. And we came on here and we spoke about it. When last time we came on here, I think the series was 2-1. I believe it's been a while, but I think the series was 2-1 last time we came on here and spoke about the team. We're very upset how that you let go of those first 2 games. And my thought was, because you let go of those first 2 games, this series was over. I just didn't think that you had the toughness to win it out to Game 7. They eventually fell in 6. And it was a weird season. It was a weird season for the Boston Celtics. Me and Mike came on this show early with the Celtics preview, said, hey, whatever happens, happens. This team doesn't look like it's really going to be a contending team. Kemba fit perfectly with this team. Tatum in February took that huge leap. We saw that Brown, before he got injured halfway of the year, he looked like he was going to be an all-star. And this team just took the leap that we didn't expect them to take and went off running. You go into the bubble, Tatum's still Tatum, Brown's still Brown, Kemba's looking good. You have probably one of the best regular seasons, I guess, seeding games in the bubble. You look good. You knock out the 76ers. Toronto comes, and this is the team you start to see. I don't know where you want to start off, Mike. I don't know if you want to talk about the season as a whole. I don't know if you want to just dive straight into the Miami Heat series. I'm going to let you, since I know you've been thinking about this for days, I'm going to let you guide us into where we are going in this conversation.
You know what? I'm happy you stopped right there when you got to the Toronto series. Because in that Toronto, I believe we got to see what I felt, and we had that conversation during the Celtics preview show at the beginning of the season. I think in that Toronto series, we got to see what I believed about this team. As great as Tatum had been playing all year, and Brown had been playing, and Kemba's been playing well. As great as those top three guys, all-stars, been playing, this team just never had the depth to go far, in my opinion. Tatum, amazing season. Brown, they both took another step in their young careers. Kemba, like you said, he fit perfectly with the Celtics. Marcus Smart, I think, continues to just become more of a veteran in this league. He's been in the league 6 years now, and he knows his role and he plays his role great. I know people will definitely dive in and talk about Hayward a lot more, but at the end of the day, Hayward, when he was on the court throughout the year, averaged 17 points, like 6 rebounds and like 4 assists, some kind of stat line like that, which is solid for a guy who was your fourth option. But again, I never felt this team had the depth to really go far. And it started to show in that Toronto series. Tatum and Brown were doing their thing, but Kemba started to struggle out of nowhere. Kemba started to struggle. And then when Kemba started to struggle, you kind of look to, all right, Kemba's not giving us anything.
Don't forget Hayward was gone as well.
Hayward is gone as well. Yes, Hayward's out the picture. Kemba's struggling. Tatum and Brown are doing their thing. Marcus Smart is playing a little above and beyond the expectations for him. But then when Kemba's struggling, you turn to the bench and like, all right, who can, maybe step up? And there's no answer on the bench. Wanamaker here and there. Cantor pretty much disappears in the playoffs. He's no longer a major factor. Not his fault, yes, but he's for the team and the decision that the coaches made. Cantor's no longer a factor. Semi Ojeleye gives you absolutely nothing. Robert Williams has spurts of good play and then spurts of, okay, that's, Robert Williams lost in the sauce, and then you can't even look any further down the bench. It stops right there. I've never believed this team had the depth to really go far. Now, again, they're talented. When you talked about those first couple of guys, the talent is there. Tatum made the All-Star team. Kemba Walker made the All-Star team. Brown probably was going to make the All-Star team if he didn't get hurt. And early on in the season, there was talk when Hayward was balling himself, while the Celtics really had 4 looking All-Stars on this team. The talent level was there. But my opinion, the talent can only take you so far. What can the team do? Basketball is a team sport. And as much as we love Tatum and Brown, and especially Tatum, because I guess he's dubbed the guy on this team, and you said this before, Tatum is a star. Has he crossed into that superstar level yet? He's not there yet.
Not yet.
Let's make sure that's clear.
Yeah.
Tatum has not crossed over to that superstar level yet. I don't care what his stats were throughout the bubble and the playoffs. I don't care what he did the first 22-year-old to do this in the first. I don't care about the stats. You can tell if you watch the game of basketball and you watch the NBA, you know who a superstar is. Tatum's not there yet. Will he be there? I believe so. But at 22 years old, he's not there yet. Brown at 23 years old, he's not there yet. They've experienced a lot, but these guys aren't there yet. And when it boils down to it, this team lacked the proper depth to really go far. I see Sam. I think Sam's asking, what about Wanamaker?
He didn't say Wanamaker.
Sam's asking about Brad Wanamaker. And Wanamaker, Semi Ojeleye, these guys on the bench, when you talk about a champion, look at the Heat. Look at the Lakers, the 2 teams that are going to be in the finals. Look at how their teams are constructed. Everybody knows their roles, absolutely. But the bench and the people that you can rely on after LeBron and AD, after, Bam and Jimmy Butler, veterans, people who know their roles and do them well. Guys who have been in the league and know what time it is in terms of what to bring to the game. Even, I would say, Toronto Raptors in a sense. But
Raptors.
There's a reason why they're not in the finals.
Raptors didn't have.
And Denver, the reason why they're not in the finals as well. But if you look at these 2 teams that are representing the East and the West in the finals, they have their stars and they have their depth. which are capable, are full of veteran players who've been in the league who can still add something to a team, and then a couple young guys, a la Tyler Hero, who played pretty damn well. The Celtics, once you get past their starting five, you're not looking at anybody. Andre Iguodala, a guy who's not getting any playing time, showed up when it really mattered. Was he getting big minutes all series? No. Is he the same Iguodala from 5, 6, 7 years ago? No. But he's a veteran who shows up when his number was called, something that the Celtics lacked all year. They were carried all season by their talent, which is great. But the depth wasn't there to really take them where they needed to go.
So, Sam, you're going to have to start putting some respect on some players' names. I'm not going to start answering your questions. You ain't going to say their names right.
Sam's a Lakers fan.
Yeah, he's a Lakers fan. But he's saying that Time Lord should have got more time. I think Time Lord got the proper amount of time that he deserved. I mean, he was a guy, you bring him in there for sparks. He's going to get you a couple blocks. He's going to get you some rebounds. But you alluded it, Mike. He gets lost in the sauce. And he's a guy you can't trust yet. Robert Williams, you can't trust on the court for long periods of time because he makes a lot of mistakes defensively, and it's not the regular season. Should he have gotten more time in the regular season? If you tell me that, of course, definitely. He's a guy that looks like he might be a future piece to the team, and I'm excited for Robert Williams going forward for what I saw in these playoffs. But at the playoff time, there's little error for mistakes. And once you start getting killed, chewed in pick and rolls and letting Serge Ibaka kill you, you got to sit down. I think Time Lord got the proper time and everything like that. Now, going back to what you said about the depth, I agree 100%. Obviously, there was no firepower coming off. It doesn't help.
Zero.
It doesn't help that Gordon Hayward gets hurt. Him getting hurt already exposes the weak bench that you have. I feel like if Hayward was on this team fully healthy, playing like he was playing throughout, maybe this team looks a little different, right? Maybe Hayward doesn't come back and is just a carcass of what he was. And that last game was bad.
It's like he digressed too. He came back, he looked decent in the first game, and it just got worse.
That last game was just shocking, but none of us were shocked. I mean, we said it on the show, when Hayward comes back, he's not going to be 100%. We've seen him come back from injury, and we know it takes him a month or two to be the Gordon Hayward that can get you to 17, 5 assists, and so it is what it is. Gordon got hurt, and I think once that happened, the season was never going to be the same due to the bench issue that you brought up. However, when you look at this team and how they played, yes, the bench. That doesn't mean I'm going to let Kemba off the hook.
Oh, we not. I didn't get there yet, but
that doesn't mean I'm going to let Tatum off the hook.
You can't.
That doesn't mean I'm going to let Marcus Smart off the hook. There was times since the Toronto Raptors series, which they escaped, when they were supposed to be up 3-0, and they were supposed to get cleaned up 5 games at the most. It went to 7. Miami Heat, you dropped the first 2 games where you were leading the whole series. Celtics were a better team than Toronto Raptors. Celtics were a better team than Miami Heat, talent-wise.
Talent-wise, yes.
First 2 games, you're dominating the Heat. They just don't have enough firepower to compete against you. Tatum can get wherever he wants. Brown's shooting 50% from the game. He's doing his thing. Kemba was nowhere to be seen those first 2 games. And then in the clutch moments, when Miami Heat applied pressure on the Boston Celtics, the Celtics folded. And that was the theme throughout. Game 6, where they lost. Celtics were up. Finally, you make a little run. You're up by 4.
I'm up by 6 at one point.
Up by 6. Continue playing how you're playing. Tough-nosed defense and attacking the rim. You finally, after 6 games, figured out the zone. Lord have mercy. Couldn't believe it. Figured out how to beat the zone. But Miami Heat responds, as they always do, because Miami Heat are tough-nosed team. They're not gonna be rattled being down by 6 with like 5 minutes left in the game. What's that? What's that in the NBA? Miami Heat goes on, makes a couple threes. Celtics fold. Soft was the word I used a lot during the times I watched them. I use bigger words sometimes, at the heat of the moment. But
Family show.
we just gonna say soft, right? Celtics are not mentally tough from the coach down to the players. They're not mentally tough. Tatum's not mentally tough. Tatum, you want to bring up why we don't think he's a superstar, right? Superstars in big moments, when you give them the ball, they get to the spots. Okay, I'm gonna get to my spot and I'm gonna get this bucket. You're gonna put a Kyle Lowry on me. You're gonna put Goran Dragic. These smaller defenders get to Tatum. You put a smaller defender on Tatum, Tatum doesn't know what to do. A superstar is going to figure that out. And eventually Tatum's going to figure that out. When you put a smaller player on him and he gets into space, Tatum's going to eventually figure out, okay, this is what I need to do when they put this guy on me. This is how they're going to do when they try to get he's not there yet. He's a star. He's not there yet. And for some reason, when there's clutch moments, 3 minutes, 4 minutes left, the team needs to run through Tatum, and Tatum's got to make a play. If Tatum doesn't make a play, screwed. We're done for. That's coaching. Soft ass coaching. One. It was like, run your plays that you've been running in the first, second, third quarters that's gotten you the lead. Run those plays. Don't put your head down when they make a three. They got shooters. They've been doing it. They have shooters. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Goran. They got guys that can make plays. Okay, they made a play on you. Get back. Go hard. The only person who feels like they have to take it on themselves to bail the team out is Marcus Smart. Unfortunately, Marcus Smart's not a shooter. That's just the unfortunate part, because he's the one that says, well, Tatum's not doing anything. Kemba's not doing anything. Let me try to do something. That's great. That's great heart. He just can't shoot.
He's not your scorer. He's not your go-to scorer.
22 shots he put up in game 6. And I can't be mad at Smart. That's due to the team. The team not willing to take the big moments. So Smart, the one who said, hey, I got to take it down. He bailed you out in Toronto Raptors. What's the joke we always say, Mike, when we watch the game? Once he makes that first three, we're like, oh, boy.
It's going
to be a long day. He showed up in the playoffs, though. You can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
You really can't be mad at that. Mike complains how Jaylen Brown needs to be more involved in the crunch time moments. When we see something like that, why can't the coaches see it? So they're soft from the head coach down. They were just a soft team. They didn't know how to handle pressure. And it's very disappointing. It's very, very disappointing due to the fact that you guys been to the conference finals before. You guys were puppies. I get it. LeBron James applied pressure to you guys in game 7, and you folded like babies. That stinks. That hurt. But you're 21. You're 22. You don't have your leaders. Okay. 2 years later, you develop. You're facing another tough team, but you're more talented than that team. You still fold. And that can carry with you. That can carry with you for a very long time. Because one thing I brought up in the show a couple weeks ago with you, Mike, is everyone wants to anoint this Celtics team as the future. When is that ever promised in the NBA? I saw it with OKC, and I'm going to bring it up again. I saw OKC go to the finals in 2012. I saw them lose to the Heat, and I saw every one of their moms say, this is it. This is the new dynasty. This is the new dynasty. Thunder went back to the conference finals up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors 2 years later and folded, and they were never the same again. Chris Paul's leading their team. The future is not getting. When you have a chance to win, you have to win now. Celtics had a chance to go to the NBA Finals. They were soft. They folded. Yes, the future's still bright. Yes, Mike just said it. He don't want to see the youngest 22-year-old to do this and breaking records doing that. Jaylen Brown scoring this. Oh, yeah, the future. This is the NBA. It's awesome. This thing's constantly moving. Nothing. One injury. We saw Gordon Hayward in the Kyrie era. One injury turned that whole era around. It's not guaranteed.
What you just said just now is so huge. The future is not guaranteed. And if you have an opportunity to make something happen, to win now, do it at all costs and don't hesitate. Right? If it's any sport, we're talking Celtics, we're talking NBA right now. If you have an opportunity to win, you go make it happen. All of that you just said, Marv, lead me to one guy. Like, yes, the season, we saw how it went against Miami Heat. They folded, they played soft. I get that. But now let's look at the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, your top guys, your leaders on the team, Tatum, Brown, Kemba, Smart, Hayward, I guess, they're not going anywhere. That's the core. They're not going anywhere. And I think the majority would tell you they're fine with that core. That core's fine. You have two young guys who are very young, who will continue to get better. Kemba's still, he's only, 30 years old. Smart's only about 26 years old. Like, still a fairly young core. So with that core that consists of 3 all-star players, you must win now. In 2008, Danny Ainge put the big 3 together. And when he put that big 3 together, Marv, especially with the fact that, they're in their 30s now, there was no, okay, well, we got these guys in their 30s. Let's maybe bring some youth off the bench to help support, Pierce and Rail, who are on the opposite side of 30. Nah, that Danny Ainge said, we're going to put a team together to win now. We're not going to worry about young guys and rookies to help support this team. No, we got the big 3. Give me James Posey, who's been in the league, who know what it is. Give me Eddie House, who's been in the league and who knows what it is. Sam Cassell, you want to play some more? Come through, bring your leadership. PJ Brown, you still got some in the tank? Come through, bring your leadership. Let's take these horses who still got some in the tank in the big 3, add some guys who've been in the league who still got that hunger and still know how the league works. Let's put them all together and let's go after it right now. 2008, Danny Ainge made that happen. Fast forward, yes, there's no necessarily big 3 in for the Celtics right now. But clearly, you got some young guys who figured things out very early in their career. And as they figured things out, the whole articles and everything, this is Brown's 3rd conference finals since he's been in the league or whatever. He's been in the conference finals every year of his career. Cool. They clearly have the talent to make something happen. Danny Ainge, the spotlight's on you now. What are you going to do? Last year, honestly, was the first time, was it last year with Kyrie when they took that picture?
I'm gonna bring that up.
Last year was the first time I said, okay, look like Danny Ainge knows what time it is again. I mean, you bought Kyrie and Hayward the year before they got hurt, whatever. Tatum and Brown developed in that year, but then you get them all fully healthy back next year. They take that picture with that 5, Hayward, Brown, Tatum, Horford, and Kyrie. Great starting lineup. Then you're adding your Smarts coming off the bench. You got Marcus Morris, who's a veteran, coming off the bench. Rozier was a guy who's been around now, who kind of developed with Tatum and Brown. And last year, you figured, okay, this is a team that's gonna make that run. I like what you did. I like what you did, Danny Ainge. That team folded for various reasons, but I wasn't mad at Danny Ainge.
Can't be.
I wasn't mad at Danny Ainge for the team he put together. You go into the 2019-2020 season, yes, Kyrie's out the picture, Horford's out the picture. But you make a solid move, you bring in Kemba Walker, who's an all-star player. Enes Kanter is not a Horford replacement, but he's a solid NBA player who has done a great job in his role. And then it stops right there. Danny Ainge decides to go draft about 5 players, 5 rookies, and then on top of that, he gives Daniel Tice a 2-year, $10 million contract, signed Vincent Poirier from France, who never played in the league before. You bring back Wanamaker, who sure he was all right behind Kyrie and Smart and them, but he wasn't nothing special. You bring in Javonte Green, who, and similar to Brad Wanamaker, they're 30 years old and they haven't played a game in the NBA for a reason. Danny Ainge lost me this past offseason. He completely lost me with the team he put together.
All right, so I hate how you have to make me a Danny Ainge defender, but you just said it yourself. Danny was on win now mode. Trades Isaiah Thomas. Everyone loses their mind.
He had a great trajectory.
Loses his mind. Trades Isaiah Thomas, brings in Kyrie Irving, brings in Al Horford, brings in Gordon Hayward. You thinking Tatum and Brown going to be coming off the bench the way this team's looking. Injuries happen, whatever. We know what happens with this team. No one saw the Kyrie Irving era failing like it did.
No,
but it did.
It did.
No one saw that coming. That team, especially last year, that Big Five, and I see questions on Instagram, and
we're going to get to all of them.
We're about to get to that. I just want to finish up this point. That team was supposed to win a championship. Great. That was the best starting five in the NBA.
Yeah.
Best starting five in the NBA, supposed to win a championship. Those players failed. Coaching failed. Players failed. That had nothing to do with Danny, right?
No.
We both agree with that.
No.
Now we're moving on to this year. You were able to salvage Kemba, which you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky you're able to salvage Kemba. Horford leaves like a dummy. He leaves. He takes his $100 million contract to go out there, and you bring in Cantor. You hoped you were able to use Cantor more. Stevens just wasn't able to use him more than we thought we would. When you brought in Cantor, you're like, yeah, he's not a Horford replacement, but we're definitely going to use him. We probably even thought he would be a starting center for our team.
Sure did.
Tice was obviously the better center, and Tice played service. He was a serviceable center. Now, you're talking about the rookies you drafted. You're talking about Vincent. We all can agree Vincent Poirier and all those signings mean nothing. Mean nothing to the team. However, what more could Danny have done? If teams don't want to trade with you, if they do not want your picks, the free agency is dried up. Your biggest mark you could have got was Kemba. I can't get mad at Danny for this is all I could have done this year. Obviously, there's not much in the bench. The rookies didn't pan out. Langford, I had high hopes on Langford. I'm dummy. I had high hopes on Langford to actually become something on this team. The guy can't last 2 minutes on the court. You just can't do it. Edwards, Tremont Waters. The only thing you can be upset with Danny this year is he drafts like trash.
That is also another huge point. That's another big point. His drafting skills are terrible.
He's drafts trash players. You go around, you see all these rookies play. You had five. You couldn't hit with one.
And not one of them can contribute.
You couldn't hit with one. That's where my issue with Danny is. You couldn't hit with one. Then you want to roll the dice with Vincent Poirier, whatever. He's not going to contribute. You roll the dice. He sucks. Send him out next year, just like they did to your boy last.
My goodness, Yabusele.
Yabu.
Oh,
you roll the dice. It didn't work. You get him. I don't mind rolling the dice and trying to see if you can find a gem or whatever. If it's not going to affect the money or it's not going to affect the team, and you don't think he's going to become a starter, you're just rolling the dice. Listen, when your hands are tied, obviously you don't have the money. The only thing you could have got was Cantor. You gotta hit in the draft. You gotta find something in the draft. And now you're going into this season. You can't even trade none of these dudes. Nobody wants anybody.
Yeah.
Grant Williams, I guess he's gonna be serviceable for this team. I can see him being on the team and having rotation, but he's not great. He's not a great player.
Which is my problem with Danny.
Robert Williams, we're hoping he has potential. He slipped in the draft because he's not the brightest person in the world. That's why he slipped. Hopefully he can be but these are all hopes. There's not one person Danny has drafted in these past since the Kyrie era where you can be like, okay, wow, we got a piece here that can be a 6-man potentially, a guy who can, all right, he's going to be playing in the playoffs big when Tice is fouling out every single game. That's my issue with Danny.
I just think, let's get to the questions because I'm gonna keep going off. Let's get to the questions for sure.
All right, so Sam says here, is Brad's job in jeopardy? Should it be? No, Brad's job is not in jeopardy. I don't think it should be in jeopardy. I don't think there should be any discussions about Brad's job being in jeopardy.
You know what? People keep. I've talked to several people who believe Brad should be gone, and I don't understand. No. With that being said, did Brad have times where he got coached in the playoffs? Yes. Does Brad have times where he looks like he can't get what he wants out of the players, or the players are not listening a few times? Yes. But with that being said, the Celtics, early in Brad's career, he brought the greatest teams way farther than they should have went. And that's because of him, in my opinion. And now I just think Brad, just like these players, he has room for growth and development. He's only in his 7th year in the league?
7, and you can only base Brad on these past 2 seasons.
Where he's finally dealt with decent teams.
And he gets an F from me with the Kyrie era. But let's not forget, no one saw this Celtics team going to the conference finals. Let's not have recent bias right now. Yes, they made it, and yes, they should have won. But this is not a team that was on anybody's radar. When you looked into this year, you saw Milwaukee, you saw Toronto, you saw no, I actually didn't see Toronto. Excuse me. Toronto was another surprise team. You saw Milwaukee, you saw the Philadelphia Sixers, in the Nets, obviously, and then you thought maybe Celtics will hang around in the mid-tier up there. Celtics succeeded that, obviously, with the help of Tatum and Brown developing. Brad is a good coach. I think Brad is a coach that can bring your team into the finals. He does some things that frustrate the hell out of me. But I'm not leading the fire Brad trail now. Yeah. You can only base him off of these 2 years when he has a decent team. Not to get off topic for a second, but it's like Doc Rivers. I don't think Doc Rivers should have got let go or fired. This is 1 year. I know he's been in with the Los Angeles Clippers for 7 years, but this is the first year with this team. You should base it on this team, that this is his 1 year with this team. Don't compare his 7 years when he had Chris Paul and Blake. No, what did he do this year with this Clippers team? You don't have a 1 year leash on him. See what he can do in the second year, in the third. Then you can start considering about, okay, this guy is not working with this team. But a story for another day. I'm basing Brad's tenure on this team on these 2 years.
And also going with the fact that I'm not looking to fire Brad Stevens. I think some of the places where Stevens lacks, Danny Ainge can make up depending on how he constructs the team. But I'll dive into that in a second after we get to some more of these questions.
Dirk says, who do we keep or who do we go after this?
Whoever
season?
I know the Celtics have a lot of situations, those young guys and rookies and those foreign players where their contract's not guaranteed the second year. Whoever doesn't have a guaranteed contract going into 2021, let them go. Whoever's contract is up and don't have nothing for the next season, 2020, let them go. If there's a way to start with a clean slate with just Tatum, Brown, Smart, Kemba, and Hayward, do it. I know that's tough because, again, some of these guys on contracts, rookie contracts, whatever the case may be. But in a perfect world, Danny Ainge could start with a clean slate minus those 5 guys.
Danny's going to have a tough offseason, and he's going to have to make a huge decision. And this is a decision I brought up to you a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And it's a decision he's really going to have to seriously consider. It's getting rid of Gordon Hayward. It's a serious consideration. And if we're talking about basketball, just a basketball move, I think it needs to be done. Gordon Hayward is going into his last year in the contract, $34 million. It's an expiring contract. At the end of the day, whatever Gordon's performance has been in the last year, teams are going to be licking their chops to get that contract. I know teams are already calling to see what's the word on Gordon Hayward. What's the Celtics issue this year? Mike just went on a whole spiel about lack of depth. look, Gordon, nice guy. Sweet guy. Sweet guy. I wish it worked out. I really do. I really do wish it worked out with the whole Kyrie thing. His bad luck it sucks. It really sucks. Could have been a great Boston Celtic, and people would have really, went behind, especially here in Boston.
You can still put 20 in the Raptors for Ray Allen. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Ray Allen, you still got a chance. Sweet guy. But during this playoffs and during the season, after he broke his hand and things, you started to really see where this team's real foundation lies. You started to see, okay, hey, Tatum's the guy. He's gonna be your superstar. Oh, he's got a running mate in Jaylen Brown, and Kemba's there too. That nice nucleus on the team. Let's not talk about the playoffs. Let's hope that what we saw from Kemba earlier on is what we'll get more of. You get rid of Gordon Hayward. Now we're talking about bringing some veteran pieces onto this team. Now you're talking about moving some money around, and something that people like to tend to forget. Money's tight. You gave Brown a nice chunk of change. Kemba's on the max. Hayward's on the max. Marcus Smart, decent. Now we're looking at it. He's got a bargain deal.
Sure does.
And then you got Tatum. Tatum's going for the max. Yeah, you have to give it to him. You have to give him with all the money. You got to give it to him. Whatever Isaiah Thomas wanted from the Celtics, that is going to Jason Tatum. So you got to back the Binks truck for him. Once you pay Tatum, guys, as much as everyone, we should go grab Ibaka. Once you pay Tatum, which you will, you have no choice. Once you pay Tatum, you have no money. You don't want the Brad Wanamaker's. You don't want what's his name, Javonte Green. You're gonna have those type of players on the team due to the fact that you have no money. The only way you can free up some wiggle room. It sucks. He's a nice guy, Gordon Hayward.
The only way I want Hayward back on this team, but obviously his money is an issue. Yes. And I've heard reports about it before, talk of possibly renegotiating his deal where, maybe he can get on a team-friendly deal. I like Hayward on this team. I know you can't stand him, Marv, because he's fragile and whatnot, but I don't have...
He's brought nothing to you in years.
What Hayward can bring to this team as a fourth option, I have no problem with it. Obviously now, when you look at his contract, that's where the problem lies. He's not worth the $35 million he's going to opt in and make next year. He's not.
It's not even 15.
He's not worth that money. What he brings to the table when healthy, I love it all. Yes,
what he brings to the regular season healthy? Sure.
When Gordon Hayward's healthy, I like what he brings to this team. But his money is not worth it. Now, my thing is, if you can do something to restructure his deal and keep him on the team and then have money to spend other places, I'm all for it. If that doesn't work and you can get a wild deal, we were just talking about rumors of, Gordon Hayward, trade talks with Indiana for Oladipo, maybe tossing Miles Turner and some picks. If you could flip something like that to add pieces to the team, I'm all for it. But I'm not quick to just say bye to Hayward. If there's a way that it could work out with him staying here, I'm for it. I like Hayward on the team. That's me. I know some people don't. Some people do.
He's got to go.
Everybody's on different sides of the fence.
He's got to go.
My whole thing when it comes to Danny Ainge, like you said before, this offseason to me is huge for him. Whatever he decides to, again, the core will be there. But with that core, you have to make a decision. Are you trying to build a championship team, or you're fine bringing in rookies and hoping for the best? Again, this draft coming up, they have another 4 picks, I feel like. And in my opinion, when you have a situation where you're trying to win a championship, you're going after it now, screw the draft. The draft don't matter. If you can trade those picks for a player or do it, whatever you can do, if you're in a win now mindset, do. You brought up the Clippers earlier. I'm going to bring up the Clippers for a different situation. In that time period of Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, their Lob City time, yeah, they didn't make it to the finals. That's their team situation and whatnot. But I can't knock them for the fact that in that span of time, the amount of veteran players they tried to shuffle in and add to that team. Amount of years, they brought in Turkoglu, they brought in Caron Butler, they brought in Pierce, they shuffled and other guys who I probably can't even think of. Jamal Crawford was there, Reddick. Like they shuffled a lot of guys to try to put around a young Blake Griffin, a young DeAndre Jordan, and Chris Paul. Did it work out for them? No, it didn't. But I like the fact that they went a route of, okay, if this piece is not going to work, what next piece can we look for to try to add to this team to see if it can get us over the hump? Now, again, like I said, it didn't work in their favor because Chris Paul and Blake and them guys have their own issues. But right now, you have this young core, this young nucleus who seem to all love to play together. Everything coming out of Game 6 was, oh, man, it was a great ride. I love these group of guys. You know, we went to battle. It's great. I hear that. Now, to support that, which is still on the young side, you got to add solid pieces around them to help get him over the hump. One thing with Brad Stevens that I was going to say is he's not a raw type of guy. I don't see Brad Stevens during halftime or in the timeout or before the game, after the game, going into the locker room and roasting the team. That's not him. And I understand that. That's not saying he's a bad coach because he doesn't do that. That's just not him. He gets what he wants out of his players by other means. That's fine. That's where you can add players to the team that can maybe bring that out of the guys. I loved Marcus Morris on his team last year. I loved it. With him and Smart, the fire they brought together, Brown mixed in, I love that. But again, I put it on Danny Ainge. To me, Danny Ainge is on a hot seat this coming off season. You just said it. This team got to be in. It's the NBA, win now. You got the young core. You got these guys who can get far in the playoffs, get within games of the conference finals. You're in win now mode. What team, Danny Ainge, are you going to build to get them over the hump?
I'm not going as far as say that I put him on the hot seat.
I am. I got him on the hot seat.
I wouldn't put him on no hot seat
because
due to the fact that he did put a championship team here not too long ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault,
but
it didn't work out.
I need to see. He's been around this team since what, 2003, 4? We're going into 2021 now. You can look at it for different reasons. The team got one chip. Yes, you could break down the mid.
Don't do that. Then if we're gonna break it down, we're gonna break it down.
Let's not ignore it. All I'm saying is, I need Danny Ainge to do what you got to work your magic and do what you did in 2018, 2019, and I want to see a championship because we know the East ain't going to be easy next year. The East is not going to be easy. And if you want to run it back with this current team and what the East could possibly look like next year, it's definitely not going to work. Whatever you can do to build a better team, Danny Ainge, I need to see it with veteran pieces, not rookies, not foreign players, veterans, NBA vets who are hungry.
Yes, times now. It's disappointing that the Celtics didn't make it. We could go on for hours and hours on this show, but we do got to move on. Celtics are no longer in contention for the NBA playoffs, NBA finals. When this bubble started, I told you, I'm like, yo, this team might make it. This team is set up for the Celtics to make it.
Great talent.
It just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And, still excited for Tatum to reach another level. Still excited for Brown to reach that other level. Tatum, Brown, all they need to be doing right now is working on their damn handles. I need that handles to be tight.
Real quick, one question I gotta ask you that I kind of noticed. I don't know if I was bugging or what. I was just pissed off or whatnot. But with these two guys being in their third and fourth year, do you think they're in that, like, they're not in that mindset where we've seen greats like LeBron or Jordan? Like, not saying they're on that level, but like, I've been in the league 7-8 years now, and I haven't won a damn thing. I'm desperate. In terms of, you got these young guys, third, fourth year. I seen Tatum put on his IG today. Oh man, it was a great season, great run, guys, great run. it's a different type of level of I want it. They're not there yet. They don't have that inside of them yet.
No, like,
which is, I'm not knocking them for they're
right,
young. They just got into the.
They're super young.
They just got.
It's not like I remember one year Celtics knocked out the Miami Heat. It was just Dwayne Wade, and Wade went on there and said, "Yo, I'm never losing in the first round again."
They're not there yet.
You know, like
it's not on them though.
He had that hunger. It was like, I don't care what happens, I'm never losing in the first round again.
I remember that.
That's not gonna. The Celtics beat them bad. It was like, he's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. And
these guys ain't there yet.
They're young. They haven't tasted what winning is like yet for them to understand. You know, they've gone to conference finals, sure, but they haven't really felt it. Had they have gone to the finals this year and had lost, it would have changed their whole perspective of everything. They've been to the conference finals already. So they haven't got there. 22, 23 right now. There's other things in your mind. Yes, basketball is very important to them, but they haven't got it yet.
All right. Well, we could switch gears a little bit, man. We could talk about the Celtics the whole show, but there's definitely other things we want to touch upon as well.
Yo, Dirk, what do you want? What do you want, Dirk?
Dirk's in on IG just keep asking us what we're thinking. Dirk, bro, got water here, man.
That's it, bro. There's not in here.
Just drinking water.
Empty.
Water, Dirk. Damn. Anyways, so we gonna switch gears a little bit because on previous shows we had brought up this Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion situation confrontation that went down with reports coming out that Meg Thee Stallion was shot. She comes out and confirms. She says Tory Lanez shot her in her feet, and Tory Lanez just was off the grid. No word from him at all. Nothing on social media from him. Just straight gone. And a lot of times you go on different social medias, like, yo, where's Tory? How come Tory's not responding? Where's Tory? Well, a few days ago, Tory finally came out. He posted something on Twitter, I believe, saying, I know my fans have been looking for me or something like that. And I'll say all that I need to say. Tune in tonight at 9:00 or something like that. He tweeted something like that. And many people thought, oh, he's about to go on IG Live because Tory was huge during quarantine time on IG Live, quarantine radio, and all that good stuff. People thought he was going to go live and, talk about the situation. Nope. At 9:00 Central Time, I think, or something like that, 12:00 Eastern, Tory Lanez dropped an album. And that album supposedly breaks down the whole Meg Thee Stallion situation, and it also takes shots at other people who have maybe commented on the situation. It does all types of things. Basically, instead of Tory Lanez coming out and saying his side or speaking to the people or just having a regular conversation, he put it all out musically. And there's a lot of people that ain't feeling that. I, for one, am one of those people. I don't like that route. I personally don't like the route that he took. Maybe some people are fine with it. Like, hey, man, you want to know his side? Listen to the album. It's all in the music. He's an artist, right? It's all in the music. Nah, man. It's more serious than that. To just say, hey, let me drop the album, try to get these sales and make this money. It's much deeper than that, in my opinion. And I'm taking that route. I don't know if his publicist or his manager or his circle, gave him that idea or thought, or if he came up with his own, but wrong route to take, in my opinion, guy. That wasn't it.
Yeah, Tory's a whole clown. He's a whole clown. I didn't listen to the album. I'm not going to listen to the album. From what I'm hearing, like, if we're talking just musically, it's not a good album. Obviously, people are going to tune into to get the snippets and the news and what he had to say. And I've seen the Shade Room comments. I've seen what he was talking about in there. And what are you doing? Like, what is Tory trying to accomplish? And my thing is, like, as a black man, right? There's people who are looking up to you. There's kids who are looking up to you. One, you already crushed them. Like, whoa, like this dude shot a woman. And then instead of coming out, and I think I heard Charlemagne say this, why not just drop a statement? Drop us if what you're saying, like you really believe your side of the story or something, drop a statement. Well written out statement on your side of the story. Don't throw innuendos in your music and this and that. Say she was drunk. And drop a statement if you want your side of the story to be really out there. If you really want to protect your name, drop a statement out there. But to try to capitalize on what's going on right now in the world that we're living in here in 2020, try to put your music, it's all bullshit. It's bullshit. And as a man, I don't know how you can really be proud of that move that he made. How you can look yourself in the mirror and be proud of that, say, yeah, this is the right route. On a woman getting shot, and it's right, she got shot. It wasn't you. It wasn't you who shot her. Somehow someone got shot. She went to the hospital and had to remove bullets. So how did she get shot? Tell your side of the story then. If you don't want to tell your side of the story, shut the hell up, because nobody wants to hear from you then. But to go on this route and try to say that it's me against the world, and no one cares. No one cares. No one. It's not about you right now. It's not about you. It's never been about you. It's embarrassing. I feel bad for people who are fans of him and seeing this side. It's an embarrassing route. It's an embarrassing route. It's a sad way to go out.
Yeah, man. Like that morning, I woke up and I saw the news that Tory Lanez just dropped a brand new album. I really couldn't believe it. Like his response to a situation where he shot somebody in the feet was to drop an album. Can you imagine? I brought it up to you. I brought it up to a couple of friends. Can you imagine if Chris Brown's response to hitting Rihanna was to drop a new Chris Brown album explaining that story? Can you imagine?
Bro.
And I'm not trying to sit here to say shooting a woman or beating a woman or a female is bad or worse, or one's bit worse. It's not about that. It's about the fact that we saw how Chris Brown handled that situation. He took his licks. He took his licks for it. I mean, it happened years ago. Is he bounced back in a sense? I guess, sure. But he took his licks, and his response to that situation was to not try to find a way to make money off the situation. He looked like he wanted to make it right. Tory Lanez on the other end, my response is, what can I do to profit off of this situation where I put somebody in danger? I put somebody's life in danger. Like I said on the show before, you firing a gun at somebody,
that's it.
You trying to do some real damage. And his response in that situation is, how can I make money? That's clown stuff. Clown stuff, man. And then the report to come out to say, in the midst of the shooting, while he was shooting her, he's telling her, dance, bitch.
For real?
Did you hear that?
No.
I think I read an article on Complex. Someone close to the situation said, while he was getting ready to shoot her, those are the words that he was saying to her.
Damn. I did not hear that. It's sad. It's sad. It's real sad. And it takes other men, black men in this situation, to call Tory Lanez out on this bullshit. Like, hip hop's real quiet right now about this. Real quiet, and it's unfortunate. They should really be stepping up and taking care of their own. Like, who stepped up and defended Meg? No one really. Bun B. But Bun B is an old super OG, and he's from Houston, the same city where Meg's from. Like, all the major hip hop artists should be out right now defending Meg about this bullshit. If it was the other way around, if Tory was the one who got shot, hip hop would be in flames right now, talking about how Tory got treated wrong. They're not doing the same for Meg. When it comes to hip hop male artists, they're not doing the same for Meg, and it's unfortunate. I hate that that's the fact, because what has she done wrong in this situation? The woman's legit has done nothing wrong, and it sucks that she's a victim in this, and now he wants to pull out an album where now for the next week or so, this is what people are talking about, you being shot again. But it's lame shit. It goes back to what's that dude's name? The old whole entanglement situation.
August Alsina.
Alsina dropping a song about entanglement. That came and went.
I like that song.
That shit came and went. Everyone talked about it for a day, and no one talked about it no more. It's gonna be the same thing with this album. We're gonna talk about the situation, what happened, and no one's ever gonna be riding around the hood 2 weeks later, like, yo, you heard this Tory Lanez?
Nah.
Oh, this song right here. No one's doing that because it's whack. Whack. Nobody cares. It's clickbait. Sure, you're gonna be trending for a little bit, and then it's going away. Who's talking about entanglement from August Alsina right now? Who's talking about that song? Nobody.
Yeah, his career took a major hit just off the strength of that situation going down. But then going this route, you might have really wiped yourself off the grid. But there's people out there that still support him. I will still listen to his music. I've definitely read comment sections and whatnot of people, saying, "Oh, the music's great," or he explains everything, like. And I think what you said is huge. If the hip hop media came out and really made statements and sided and with everything going on, it'd be huge. Right now, it's unfortunate to say Tory's gonna ride this wave out, but I do agree with you, Marv. Ain't nobody gonna give a damn about this album coming up soon. And I think once the hype of this album fades out, he'll probably fade away too. I don't know how he can come back from this situation. I don't know. I have no answer, no words to it. And this is coming from I was a huge Tory Lanez fan. I definitely enjoyed his music album that he dropped. Quarantine radio kept me entertained while I'm here stuck at home. But this whole situation has just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse, and it just looks terrible for him.
Yeah, I got Tory's not gonna get a lot of playtime from me. Not gonna get a lot of energy from me. He's a clown, and clowns do clown things, man. So that's all it is, man. I'm happy Meg is okay. Looked like she's living her best life.
Yeah, she's chilling.
We're gonna move on from there.
Yeah, man. But last little topic we want to touch upon, as we move towards the end of the show, presidential debate, which is on right now, if I'm not mistaken, taking place on this Tuesday night. A lot of people probably checking that out. It's a huge year. It's a huge year for this country. And as a nation, we've gone through a lot. And a lot of that comes from the leadership that we've been under, unfortunately. And I guess one thing we can be thankful is an election year. And with this election, people have the chance to go out and make something different happen. Which is why, stay as informed as you can. Whatever research you want to get more, do to get more information, to get more knowledge of different things. Do what you need to do, because again, election time in November, it's a major time in history for the United States of America.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, if you're one of those people who say, "Oh man, I just don't know enough about politics. I don't know enough about their policies, so I'm not gonna vote, or I don't understand." Hey, this is the time. There's three presidential debates. This is the first one. Tune in, listen, listen to the questions, see how they answer them. I mean, everyone's gonna have their opinion, who's telling the truth, who's not, but be yourself for once. Just don't listen to nobody else. See what actually what values you have. Listen to what these two presidential candidates have to say, and do your own research. Like, this is huge. This is really huge. What we've been dealing with for the past 4 years, and what we can be dealing with for another 4 years, and trying to fix all of that time is now. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Don't use I don't know much about politics or this and that as an excuse this year. Grow up. Tune in. Figure it out. Do your research. Read. Watch. Vote. That's it. That's all I can really say. Do you miss the debate? Like, we're gonna miss the debate.
YouTube is great.
Like,
YouTube is great.
Like,
articles will be out.
Everything's gonna be out there. Everything's gonna be. There's no way you can miss information in 2020. It's in your hand. It's on your computers everywhere. You miss it. All right. Like Mike just said, I could just YouTube that, John, probably an hour after it's over. It's probably streaming on YouTube. Like, it's there. The information is there. Go out and go get it. Stop using excuses.
Yeah. Vote 2020. And us, we talk about sports and all that, and NBA, different organizations are doing a lot to make sure everybody is capable of voting in some way, shape, or form, finding a close location, different things. There's no reason for people to not vote this year.
And social media is going hard, yo.
Yeah.
You go on like Instagram, Snap, everywhere's registered to vote. Register to vote. It's in your face.
Yeah. Like, I firmly believe the numbers this year are gonna be massive.
I hope so, man.
I believe it, man. Because one, like you said, it's all over social media. Social media is huge right now. And two, I think the masses can see what kind of nation we've been living in over the last 4 years, and what they believe the next possible 4 years could probably look like. Voting is going to be huge right now. Huge. So make it happen. Register. Vote. Hear from Double M. Make sure you make that happen.
It's crazy, right? For work, I had to go to New Hampshire last week for like a little work retreat. And it's just wild how divided this country is. And it's shameful, the two signs that I saw being put up. It is crazy. So we're driving down New Hampshire in this neighborhood. And you know how people like to put the little pickets in the yards. Yep. And it's just Trump 2020, Trump 2020. Okay, obviously they support Trump. And then the house in the middle is Black Lives Matter. Trump 2020, Trump 2020, Trump 2020. Sheesh. And I sat there, and it wasn't even Biden 2020, or it was Black Lives Matter surrounded by Trump 2020. And then you go down another neighborhood, Trump 2020, Trump 2020, Black Lives Matter. Trump 2020, Trump 2020, Trump 22. And it's like, wow, that's the division. It's not even the division is either you Trump 2020 or Black Lives Matter. And that was like, it messed me up a little bit, excuse me. It messed me up a little bit just on the ride there, because it's like, wow, this is the world we're living in right now. Where before it was just, presidential, who you voted for this guy, you voted for that one. Now we're talking about lives being in stake in situations like this. And I prayed for those families being surrounded by the Trump 20. I'm not saying those Trump people who voted for them are evil or what, but I just prayed for them because I felt the tension just driving by. Like that I felt like they weren't comfortable. It was an eerie feeling, Mike. It was an eerie feeling driving by them. And I said, while driving, I said a prayer for them. Like, whoa, something feels wrong about this. Something feels wrong. Yeah, I just want to leave you guys with that.
Yeah, man. It's a wild country we live in. I say this to my dad all the time. This country's wild. This country's crazy. Like, you know, growing up and you live a life and it's just like, oh, America, what a great country. The United States of America is America. And you know what? America's got some nice restaurants, nice restaurants. You got some nice theme parks, got a nice couple places to visit throughout the states, some nice places to go. But socially, this country, my goodness, as a social nation, it's pretty disgusting, if is a word I think I can use. Like in terms of different things in this country to do and go and visit and enjoy. Oh my, yeah, we're clearly at the top of the totem pole. Probably got some of the nicest resorts. Like I said, theme parks, restaurant. Oh, this country got a lot of great stuff to visit and do. But just as a people, as a nation, us living here on this continent within these borders of the United States of America, socially, it's wild times right now. Wild times.
Yeah, man. Scary. It's scary.
But yeah, Double M.
Double M.
Where any type of conversation can happen. Sports, media, entertainment, little politics for you.
Come on now, we versatile. Versatile.
Jump into the repertoire anytime.
Yeah, I mean, we're entering a time where you guys heard us talk a lot of basketball. I mean, we went through a weird transition here where we weren't talking no sports in Double M for maybe a couple of months.
That is true.
But we really had to be versatile.
That is true.
And once basketball came back, we were NBA centric heavy on here on Double M. And now, basketball's about to fade away. Obviously, we're going to do a lot more football talk. But then we're going to get back to that versatile and getting back to what we do best here in Double M. We'll give you a little bit of everything.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yes, sir.
I love it. But, yeah, man, we signing out here. Appreciate everybody tuning in per usual on this Tuesday night. If you're on Facebook, appreciate you. IG, always, thank you. And YouTube Live, y'all are great. All the comments, all the remarks. Yeah, we love it all. So
catch us again next week here on Double M Tuesdays. We out.